deficits on top of budget deficits. We've had two of the largest tax increases in the history of the state of Connecticut. And what we're finding is that the policies of the last 7 years of taxing more, spending more, borrowing more, and kicking the can aren't solving our problems. They're forcing businesses like GE and Aetna out of our state. And the problem that the city of Hartford is having is really a symptom of an overall disease that's plaguing the state of Connecticut.
Yeah.
We're doing too much can kicking, and we're not being honest about our problems.
That liberal agenda, we're seeing that in California, we're seeing it in Illinois, now Connecticut, where big companies are leaving because of the high taxes. Aetna left your state, and also GE left your state.
Correct.
Who is to blame for this?
I think our current governor and the Democratic majority in the legislature, they are part of a problem where they do not embrace the kinds of fundamental structural reforms, pension reform, benefit reform, tax reform, the things that other states are doing, and we're seeing their economies growing. Case in point, last month Connecticut lost 2,000 jobs. Massachusetts gained 9,300 jobs. We were ranked as one of the 6 worst states in terms of business climates last month. We can't keep doing this any longer. And if we don't elect a new governor and a legislature that's going to pursue pension and benefit reform, tax reform, spending reform, getting our state spending under control, Connecticut's going to continue down a very dangerous path.
It's a liberal state, though. How do you, as a Republican, plan to win and change the state?
It's not as liberal as people think. We picked up 3 seats in the state Senate in 2016. We tied the state Senate. We are 4 seats away from taking majority in the state House. We have a history of electing Republican governors in Connecticut. So I think when we run on a pro-growth, pro-reform agenda that's rooted in common sense and really fixing our problems, telling it like it is. If ever there was a time to send proven reformers and Hartford outsiders to the Gold Dome to shake things up, the time is now.
Do you like the president's agenda, especially on tax? You talk about taxes, high taxes in your state?
I think the tax reform package that's before the Congress is something that I think needs to get passed. I think it's good for the country. I think it's good for people that are feeling the squeeze. And I think that the Republican Congress is poised to pass those tax reforms and really jumpstart our economy.
It's a tall task to reform your state. How do you plan on doing that?
I plan on doing it based upon what I've done in Trumbull. I believe in leading by example. When I was elected 8 years ago, I refused a pension. I reduced my office budget 22%. I cut my own pay. I believe in leading by example. I've said that if I'm elected governor, I'm going to refuse a pension from the state of Connecticut.
What about your future, though? How are you going to pay for it?
Well, you know what? I'm a young guy, so it's okay.
It's very nice of you to do that.
I'm going to refuse a pension. I'm going to insist that all of my department heads do the same thing. I'm also the only candidate on the Republican side that has said that I will refuse donations from Hartford lobbyists. I believe you have to lead by example if you're going to bring the kinds of reforms that are necessary to get Connecticut back on track.
All right, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You grew up in that state. You love it, don't you?
I did, and I went to Trinity College like Jesse Waters and Tucker Carlson.
Yes, yes.
So it's very much part of who I am.
All right, we're glad to have you on. We wish you all the
Pleasure.
best.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, he testified on